I think the Logitech G502 X Plus heard me talking smack about it in the previous video. Alright, I wasn't talking that much smack. I don't understand why if I pay $150, $160 for a mouse, why it's 100% plastic. Why? And I do see why it is overwhelmingly loved by the gaming community. I mean, it has plenty of extra buttons. It works very well. It looks pretty cool. It just doesn't feel perfect in my opinion. I'm a few days into owning this. If you watched my previous video on the M65, I've had that mouse for 6 months. I've been using it daily for 6 months. I'm going to have to give this mouse a little bit more time for me to adjust to it, because obviously if I had a mouse that I really liked, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment. This mouse is larger than the M65. If you haven't seen my content, I'm 6'9". I am a very large person. My hands are bigger than usual. I mean, in my opinion, they're small for my size, but I'm huge. So take that with a grain of salt. But this mouse naturally fills my hand a lot better than the M65 did. That's good and bad. It's a different fit in my hand, which means I have to make different adjustments when I'm playing games. I actually have to move this mouse a lot more rather than controlling it with my fingertips like I might otherwise do with the M65, where I have enough space between my palm and the back of the mouse where I can just push it. It's hard to mimic having a mouse in your hand, but I can essentially shift it back into the palm of my hand where I have a little bit more wiggle room to work with. I don't have anything against this mouse so far. I'm actually really excited about it. I think yesterday I played with it for like 8 hours, and I'm using it every single day. So I'm slowly getting used to it. I will say I accidentally click the DPI buttons on this mouse constantly, like almost every time I go to pick up the mouse, because the left click button is so much more narrow than the M65 button. So if you're someone that's potentially making that switch, just know that that's something that you're going to have to adjust to. I like the mouse overall. I think it looks really nice with my setup. Like, thank you, Logitech, for making a white default option. Your technology, so much better than IQ in terms of monitoring battery percentages. That's really, really nice that you did that. So I know exactly when my mouse is going to need charged, instead of IQ software where I go in and I'm like, I think I've got 20 hours, and it dies 20 minutes later. I'm still getting used to the infinite scroll wheel. I love it as something to play with, and to sit there and click the button and then just scroll it and scroll it and scroll it. Trying to figure out how to use all of the new buttons and bring that scroll wheel into my gameplay is just something that's going to take me time to adjust to. Call of Duty is coming out later next week, so I'm going to get lots of opportunities, many hours of play time, to actually go in and use this mouse. The next week isn't going to be competitive gameplay, but it is going to be the campaign, so I can mess around and see what I like, what I don't like, if I'm changing up the keybinds on the mouse itself. The other thing I think Logitech absolutely nailed is the lighting within the device. This is the lighting that I would expect within a $150 device. Corsair's is like $130, but this is what I would expect at this price point. Something nice, fluid. I can have multiple colors displayed at the same time. So great job to Logitech there. I'm trying to not harp too much on this, but I'm really not a huge fan of the ultra lightweight mouse. I can understand why gamers would really like it and why they would appreciate it. I just don't understand paying for a premium mouse and then getting a product that doesn't feel tangibly premium. Add some titanium, add some aluminum, add something that just gives me oh, thank you. I recognize that there's a material that costs more than pennies on the dollar to produce, and that you're not getting a massive markup on this product because the RGB that I paid $20 extra for. My personal qualms aside, I think this can make for a very good mouse based off my first impressions. I will do more updates here in the coming weeks and months just to give a very, very fair view of this product versus the M65 for those of you that have large hands and are looking at potentially getting one of these mice. I know that this mouse, for whatever reason, has a pretty cult-like following, so please don't come for me in the comments. I understand that I need to adjust to it. I'm giving myself the time to. I just wanted to post my first impressions as something for you all because realistically, first impressions do matter, especially when pulling a product out of a box that you just spent your money that you worked for on it. And beyond that, I want to be able to reflect and go, did those first impressions hold up? Or was I completely off base? Do the non-premium plastic materials end up adding that much of a value for me as a consumer and as a gamer? Time will tell. Thank you all so much for watching. If you appreciated this video, please give me a like or subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future. Aside from that, if you have anything for me that you're wanting to see about this mouse in particular, please drop it in the comments below and I will be happy to respond or make additional future content on that. Thank you all so much for watching and I hope you have a great rest of your day.